Welcome. Hello, everyone. My name is Anka Novakovic with Eco Coach, and I help organizations become more eco-friendly. I work with businesses on their strategy, on their operations, and kind of the change management part of their organization, and I've been doing it for 13 years. And first of all, before we get started, I want to apologize. It's a little bit loud out here. I think everyone's out in the park. It's a gorgeous day. And so I was trying to find a place that was a little bit quieter, but there's probably going to be some background noise, and maybe you might see some people walking by, or maybe even photobombing this, who knows. So anyway, today I wanted to focus on 5 tools that you can use right away to help make your business more eco-friendly. And if you're a small business owner, if you work in a small business, if you're an entrepreneur or you're a sustainability champion, you're looking at, okay, what are some things that I can get started on right away? Well, there's some apps that are available out there that kind of help your business go green, and that you can use right away. And I wanted to focus on reducing waste because that's a really important part of sustainability and going green. So that's where we're going to get started today. I'll probably be covering some others at another time, another later date. So the first place I wanted to get started was with paper use, paper reduction, junk mail. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with that, and I'm sure you're familiar with it not just at work but at home. And according to the organization 41pounds.org, there are over 100 million trees that are cut down for junk mail in the US alone, which is ridiculous, that are used, I shouldn't say cut down in the US, but that are used, that are cut down for junk mail. And that really equals to, and I need to look at the numbers because if you've seen me on any other Facebook Lives, or if you know me, I'm not really good at remembering numbers. So that equals 28 million gallons of water used. That's about 5.6 tons of landfill. And there's some other interesting information. You probably want to hear about your tax dollars at work. So state and local governments actually across the country spent in the US $320 million yearly getting rid of it, okay? And transportation costs $550 million to transport it, okay? So junk mail, there are other studies that show if you're a larger organization, the mailroom department spends about a quarter of the time sorting through junk mail, which is ridiculous, and it's a complete waste of time. Anyway, you can reduce junk mail. It doesn't take too much effort. Paper Karma is a great app to get started there. They say on their website that they can reduce up to 90% of junk mail. So think magazines, credit cards, think yellow pages or catalogs, all of that can go. So basically all you have to do is you take a picture of the thing that you want removed, you include the address that you want it removed from, and that's it, right? And so it takes about 3 to 4 months for, according to them, to see the changes. But like I've used this, I've used other tools, and it's been helpful in reducing junk mail, as opposed to you personally calling every single person and or every single organization that has sent you some junk mail. So that's the first thing. So again, it is Paper Karma that is the first tool to reduce your junk mail. And by the way, you can use this not just for your small business, but you can use it personally as well. The second tool is focused on reducing or on recycling, right? So you have typical recycling, and there are typical recycling channels out there, but there's sometimes hard to recycle items, right? And you're probably not really sure where to go, and so you start researching organizations and what have you. Well, iRecycle is a great app. It's run by Earth 911. Earth 911 has actually been around since 1991, and since I started the business in 2006, I recommended people to take a look at their website, and now they have the iRecycle app so that you can figure out where you can recycle different things if you're not sure, okay? All you have to do is enter your address or your zip code, and then it will tell you. They actually have a range of about 350 materials that they can place in most locations in the US, so that's fantastic. One thing that I didn't mention, these 5 apps are for your smartphone, so they're for iOS and they're for Android. The Paper Karma, the first one that I mentioned around reducing junk mail, is US centric. iRecycle is also US centric. We're going to talk about, most of these are US centric. So definitely take a look if you are in another part of the world. If you're looking or watching this recorded later on, take a look. And again, I apologize for the background noise. I hope you can still hear me. And we'll keep going. Okay, so I Recycle is the second one. The third one is Too Good To Go. And actually, Too Good To Go is in 11 countries in Europe. And it's starting, according to The Guardian, it's going to be in the US as well. They have about 24,000 partners in Europe. And basically what it is they connect the hospitality sector. So they connect restaurants and hotels and supermarkets, et cetera, with unsold food, with individuals who would like to have that food. So kind of like at the end of the day, you can purchase that food for really, really low cost. And so it is a fantastic thing. If you are in Europe, if you are familiar with the Hotel Ibis or the Hotel Mercure and Novotel, that is the chain, hotel chain Accor UK, and they actually partnered with Too Good To Go. They saved 13,000 plus meals that would have otherwise been thrown away. So again, reducing food waste. The Too Good To Go website actually states that they have averted 15 million meals from being thrown out, waste to landfill. So that is fantastic, right? So if you are in the hospitality industry, definitely take a look at that. They are, again, as I mentioned, The Guardian mentioned that they're coming to the US. On their website, it wasn't really clear when they're coming to the US, but there are other services like that and there are other apps like that in the US. So I definitely recommend you take a look at that. They're springing up. They're absolutely springing up. But I wanted to share that, the Hotel Accor example, because I think that was a fantastic one, right? 13,000 meals saved is so great, that would have otherwise been thrown and wasted. The fourth app that I wanted to focus on today was around energy. And with energy, there are tons and tons of different apps out there, right? It really depends on what you want to do. And the one that I picked today is one that is actually a little bit more comprehensive. It was voted by Popular Mechanics as pretty much the most comprehensive app if you're a small business or if you're a business looking to track your energy use, and that is TED. And no, it's not related to TEDx or anything like that. It's called the Energy Detective. And when you look on the in the App Store, it's TED Commander. Okay, so you're going to see it. You can download it. With that, you actually have to buy some devices that you put inside the breaker panel to get additional information, and then it is hooked up to your phone and to your desktop as well. So that's a fantastic tool. And I'm going to read what they offer, because as I mentioned before, I'm not really good at remembering things. So obviously electricity usage, you can see it in real time, but the current rate structure, the projected bill, voltage highs, lows, and a lot more. And the last app, and so if you're just joining us, there are 5 apps and we're on the 5th app. The first one was Paper Karma for reducing junk waste, okay? The second one was I Recycle for recycling, and that one again can be used personally as well as for your business. The third one was, let me remember, okay, it was Too Good To Go. My memory's going, Too Good To Go, which is for reducing food waste, and especially for the hospitality industry. The fourth one was TED, the Energy Detective. And then now the fifth one, is Drop Counter, because even though water is something that we look at and most businesses don't pay a lot of money for, unless you're out west and unless you're in another country, because the US, typically the price of water is not as high as in other countries. However, it is something, it's a limited resource. It is something that is scarce in a lot of areas, so it's something that I would definitely recommend that you take a look at for your business. And so Drop Counter is the app, and it's DROPCOUNTR is the app. And I don't know if any of you have tried looking at your utility bills and figuring out the water and reducing water use, and kind of figuring out if you take X action, how it's going to impact your bill. I have done that for clients, and let me tell you, it takes a lot. It takes a little bit of work. It's not intuitive. So Drop Counter was developed essentially by someone who sat down to kind of figure out what water they could save, and they couldn't figure it out from the utility bills. So Drop Counter has partnered with utility companies to make this pretty easy, and you can get accurate data. So you can actually, so that's it. So you can more mindfully manage water at your organization. And so that's it. Would love to hear what apps you've tried. Again, what I said, I believed I mentioned this before. There are tons of apps out there. I picked some that I thought were relevant for small organizations to reduce waste. Some of these can be used for personal use, and would love to hear if there's some that you've used. And thanks so much, and have a fantastic day. And hi, John. And yes, junk mail absolutely saved time and natural resources. And I had mentioned earlier on in the Facebook Live that there are over 100 million trees that are cut down for junk mail just in the U.S., which is ridiculous. And about, I think, 28 million. Again, I referred to my notes, 28 million gallons of water use, which is, kind of when you start thinking about that and what you could do with that water, it's kind of mind-boggling. Anyway, so I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I hope you take these and you check them out, again, iOS and Android, and have a fantastic day and have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.